Hello and welcome to the Trent Valley Railway. In this video we'll look in detail at the removable baseboard section of the layout. The removable baseboard section was first built back in April 2018 and was built alongside the lower level baseboards for the layout. The removable section bridges the gap between the baseboards on either side of the garage and is able to be removed for entrance and exit to the layout. We will now take a closer look at the removable baseboard section. For the removable baseboard section, I have used a PSC timber frame, which is the same as I have constructed with the other baseboards around the layout, and I've then added the plywood sheet on top of this, cut it to size and specifically aligned that with the baseboards on either side of the removable section to make sure there is very minimal gap. As this section needs to move in and out of the garage, I've added some trolley wheels to the bottom of the timber posts that support this removable baseboard section in order to provide an even distribution of support for the removable baseboard section. What this also means is that I've actually spaced out those support posts and wheels across the section, as can be seen. At this point in time, the layout had a test track around it, and at the appropriate time in the future, once the track would start to be laid, I would cut the rails across the joints to ensure that this section is fully removable from the rest of the layout that is fixed. This would also involve creating a plug connection between the main baseboards and the removable baseboards for the power to reach the track on the removable section. To ensure that the layout section here does not move once the trains are running, I've put on some gate bolts on each side to lock in the boards. There are 2 on the inside and 2 on the outer side when you enter and exit the garage. For the gate bolts on the inside to lock it in place, I have specifically drilled into the wood frame to make sure that the bolt enters a hole and has little room to move. This makes sure that the removable baseboard is fixed in position, and this occurs on both sides of the removable baseboard section. I also have the option to lock the trolley wheels if I get any further problems with aligning the boards in the future. And to show you how this works, I have unbolted it here, and this slides in and out with the garage door open, which makes it a lot easier, and when it is in position it can be locked in to the correct position. It will roll out towards the garage door, so when the garage doors open I can take the whole of the section outside, and I can even turn it around and put it back in sideways if I need to access either side of the layout in that area. Here is then a view across the removable baseboard section once I started to develop the incline and the next level up, and you can see how in the future the incline would pass across the removable baseboard section, and at this point in time I had the wooden blocks either side of the section to prop up the incline. And we'll now have a look at some trains passing over this section. Onwards from testing the incline, I looked into providing safety measures, particularly in the area of the removable baseboard section. The safety measures are insulation pipes which have been added to the edge of the plywood boards on the incline. Whilst testing the trains on the incline, there was a potential danger for the trains to fall off the incline either into the removable baseboard section below or all the way to the floor, and this was of great concern and therefore the insulation pipes will stop this from happening at both the inclines and the levels which cross the removable baseboard sections by the garage door. The insulation piping is made up of foam, and therefore this will stop the trains if they do derail on both the incline or the removable baseboard section. After testing the trains on the inclines, and then knowing that this will work for all the trains I have on the layout, I progressed to start constructing the inclines across the removable baseboard section. Here you'll see the temporary structures for the inclines, which as per previous inclines were propped up by wooden blocks. Throughout this, I had to cut the plywood sheets to the correct lengths and cut the corners for the plywood sheets, which you can see on the left, and make sure that these are then lined up with the sheets that will be across the removable baseboard section, as these need to join up at the joins between the removable baseboard section and the fixed parts of the layout. A timber structure is also required then to support the incline on the removable baseboard section. I need to create this and specifically then attach it to the removable baseboard such that the bottom layer of the removable baseboard and the inclines are separated from the rest of the fixed sections of the layout. The following montage of pictures will then show you the progress of the removable baseboard section from the beginning to its current state. The baseboards and framework were completed in January 2019, and this is now ready for the cork underlay and the track laying. This has also enabled me to run a full circuit of the layout from the lower level to the level above, up and down each of the inclines and across this section on the lower level. The framework remains the same as you've seen in the earlier parts of the video, and the framework on top of this baseboard section was completed in around about 1 to 2 weeks. For the incline sections that cross the removable section here, these are independent and have been cut from the inclines which are fixed at either side of this section, and this can be seen on the far left and the far right. In the previous photo montage, you'll have seen the construction of the framework on the removable baseboard section and how these join together to form the 3 inclines that cross this section, and this has been similar to how I've built the inclines on the fixed parts of the layout. As mentioned at the beginning of the video, the track will eventually be cut at the baseboard joins and wired to the DCC bus wires, which will be plugged in to the fixed part of the layout, such that this whole section with the track, baseboards, framework and anything else can be removed and plugged in when I need to operate it. On a final note, the key challenge for any removable baseboard section or lift-up section on a model railway is to get the track work to align to avoid derailments when operating trains, and this will be featured in another video soon. Thanks for watching and enjoy the trains on the Trent Valley Railway across this removable baseboard section.